Morning, guys. Come for a walk with me. Ready? Check this out. Check out where I am. It's a little bit cloudy. Check out the sunrise. I got up early for sunrise this morning. Still not sunrise, but hey. Hello, pretty sunrise. How are we this morning? This morning, this afternoon, or this evening, wherever you are in the world. Say hi when you join live. Hey Shane. I've got a couple of things that I want to talk about this morning. So, and I was going to walk, but if I walk, I'll get puffed. Talking, puffed. So, oh, there's lots of surfers out this morning. Have a look at the beach. It's so pretty. Say hi when you join live, guys. Let me know you're here. Have a pretty view over the sunrise this morning. Let me share this. And I got really important things I want to say this morning. So, there's so many things flooding through me at the moment that I am excited to. There'll be lots of things coming out. Yes, it's so pretty, right? It's so pretty. Pretty sunrise. Say hi when you're here. I can see people joining live. So there's an important point. I've actually been, in cold England. Hey Heidi. Hey Woofer. There's a dog at my feet. This is a dog beach after all. So I'll just share this and I'll be present with you so you can enjoy the beautiful sunrise this morning whilst I share this, because there's so much I want to say, but I need to concentrate when I'm sharing because otherwise I'll share it to the wrong place, right? Oh, thanks. Walking through the bush on the way here, but there was mosquitoes. Okay. Okay, one more. Got it. It's coming. Awesome. Do I? Yes, it's so pretty. Beautiful sunrise this morning. Okay, that is shared. Let me concentrate. I've got an important message to share this morning. So, put this in my pocket. Got it all sorted. Okay, thanks for joining live, guys. Okay, so this whole thing about like spirits coming to you, yeah? Like, what happens when we awaken spiritually is that we sense the other side, right? Whether we are sensing angels or whoever, right? We sense spirits. We sense people on the other side. Thanks, Colleen. And that means we also sense humans that have passed over, yeah? Spirits that have died either through accidental death, through suicide, through murder, through whatever, okay? And what happens is that, and this is something that I've been speaking to, like I was speaking to another client about it last night, and then I've seen someone else comment on my post this morning, and then I was talking to someone about this exact thing last week as well. And I'm like, okay, I obviously need to share this, and I know that I've shared this. Well, I don't know if I've shared this specific thing publicly, but I've spoken about curses, hexes, psychic attack, spells, like all that sort of thing before publicly. So if you want more information about that sort of thing, please send me a message and I'll send you the link to the actual videos about them, because I've got heaps, all free. Yeah. So the thing that I'd been saying to, because it dawned on me last week, you know, I've been doing heaps of mediumship, my camera's just decided to go that way. Let's have a look this way. So I've been, so the thing that, because I've been doing lots of mediumship readings in January for some reason, I'm doing heaps of mediumship work, right? And I was speaking about this particular bit to a client last week, about, like, they were saying, oh, like, so do you need information, who you can call in, you know, that sort of thing. And I was like, well, yeah, can you let me know, like, who the, yeah, you too, yeah? Can you let me know just what their name is, you know, so I can call them in? And I was like, oh yeah, because I don't just have people turning up to me, right? I don't just have spirits that have passed over just randomly turning up to me. I don't. And I was like, why don't I? And I was like talking to her about it, and I was like, well, actually, and you know, this is something I set a boundary on several years ago, right? When I learned this stuff, I set this really strong boundary several years ago. Now this is really, really important if you do any sort of mediumship, light work, anything at all, yeah? Anything at all. Why is that? Because when we open up spiritually, we start meditating, we start growing our spiritual organs, we start developing spiritually, what happens, right, is our light gets super bright in the spirit world. Well, in our world too, but do you know what I mean? Like, so if you can imagine in the spirit world, it's all kind of darkish, right? And then someone like you or me who's doing this spiritual work, our light becomes bright in the spirit world, and the spirits see that and they come to you. Why? Because they know that you sense them. Why? Because they need help. Now, important rule. You do not need to help every single spirit in the spirit world. Okay? You'll be exhausted. Why? That's just exactly the same as helping every single physical person in this world. I can't stress this enough. There is no separation between the physical world and the spirit world. No separation, okay? So when you've got spirits turning up in your house and standing over your bed, or you sense them in your room, or you sense them in your house, or, you know, like they're in the backyard, or whatever the story is, right? You wouldn't just allow a stranger to just walk into your house. Like, you wouldn't, right? Well, maybe you would, I don't know. Why wouldn't? Okay, you wouldn't just let a stranger just, sure, come in while I have a shower. Like, no, you wouldn't. No different to the spirit world, okay? No different, okay? How do you stop it then? Well, how do you stop a spirit? Like, how do you stop a stranger from coming into your house? You lock the doors at night while you're sleeping, you know, make sure everything's shut up, like all that sort of thing, okay? No different to the spirit world. What do? Put your energetic doors across, right? You energetically lock your house, blah, blah, blah. But this is the really important point, okay? This really, really important number one key. When I said to my client last week, I was like, well, it's like, yeah, I don't just have spirits turning up. Why is that? I actually need to call them in. And I remember, and it dawned on me, I was like, oh, well, that's right. Like several years ago, like when I first got into all this stuff and I learned about mediumship in depth, and it was like this, Sylvia Brown actually taught me this. So I set a really strong boundary with the spirit world. I like had a talk with them. I was like, okay, this is not okay. I'm sleeping, I'm getting dressed. I'm like, no, you can't just come into my house. Like, yes, I can help you, but I will not help you, yeah? Because I had all these spirits coming to me, and it's like, well, I can't actually help you with what you need from me without that physical person speaking to me. So I set a really strong boundary, and I'm not saying this is what you have to do, this is what I do, okay? So I've set a really strong boundary saying, this is not okay, this is my house, I'm sleeping, if you need to talk to me, you can talk through Archangel Michael. Whilst I'm meditating, I will make time to meditate so that I can help you, right? But then it got to a point, I was like, well, I can't help you until that person comes to me, right? Because there's a reason why spirits come to us when our light is so bright, yeah? Because they know we can help them, we can sense them, we can talk to them, okay? That does not mean you have to, okay? But it's like common like courtesy, like would you be rude to someone on the street asking for help? Probably not, but you'd say, oh no, sorry, I can't help you, okay? But you wouldn't, you know, you know, it's the same, there's no differentiation, right? The other part of that is I said, you know, and I said to the spirit world in a loud out declaration, I was like, if you need me to help you, if you want me to help you, and I can, you must send me the physical person. If you send me the physical person, then I will help you. Yeah, and what do I mean by sending me the physical person? Well, I mean that spirits are only here and coming to you because you can help them, and spirits that are coming to you usually have unfinished business, and that's why they're still on the earth plane and they haven't crossed over to the light yet. Okay, and I teach all of this in detail and in depth in my Trust Your Intuition course, which Trust Your Intuition is open, okay? And it's like every single tool you'll ever need to do all this spiritual work and work with the light and be able to know what to do when the darkness turns up, when, you know, like when spirits turn up, all of that thing, and do it safely. Because, you know, people talk about psychic attack and ghosts and all this sort of thing, and I've got a whole other thing on psychic attack and psychic abuse and curses and people being scratched in the night and waking up. But, you know, like there's a deeper reason for it, and the main reason is because you have been growing spiritually, you've been opening up spiritually, and the thing is like we can open up, but it's got to have rules and boundaries. Can you guys see how bright that light is? Does it look really bright? I'm like, how is the sun? It's just like this big bright portal of light. Okay, I obviously need to talk about the portals. Can you guys let me know if you can see that? I can just see this big like white portal. I can't really see the sun, I can just see this big portal of light. It's so full on. Let me know if you guys can see what I can see. So the thing is, when spirits come to you, they just need to help, usually to cross over to the light if they're still stuck on the earth plane. As soon as you think about the portal of light, it is somewhere in the room, in the space, right? There's the portal of light, right? And you might be like, oh, but that's the sun, Hannah. And I'm like, does that look a big like white light hole? Like, come on, right? There's the portal of light. You say to them, there's the portal of light. You go to the light, you know, all of that, yeah? And it's like, it's not, again, it's not your job or your duty to be able to like help every single soul. But at the same time, and this is again what I teach in Trust Your Intuition, because we are aware of this stuff and because of the light, right? Because of all of that, we have a certain responsibility as a light worker, as a healer, as a medium, as an intuitive, whatever you want to call yourself, because we sense things like this and we sense the light. Yeah, it's kind of, there's a level of responsibility for what we do. It's a bit like when I shared the waterfall cleansing light for clearing negative energy. Yeah, what happens here is, you know, like putting it over like a shopping center door, for example, right? So what happens in that space is that you sense that there's negative energy, the energy needs cleansing in a shopping center, right? And so what you do is you put a big waterfall of white light, you imagine a waterfall of white light over the doors of that shopping center. So everyone that walks through those doors are cleansed from any negativity, any stuff they're carrying that might not be theirs, blah, 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 okay? Now what actually happens is that some people might be like, oh, well, that's not your responsibility to clean everyone's energy. And I'm like, well, actually, I became aware that there's some like bit of heavy negative energy in that shopping center. It needs to be cleansed, and that's the way we can do it. We can imagine the white light filling the shopping center mall, right? That is no different to me seeing a piece of rubbish on the beach here and picking it up and putting it in the bin. I have a certain level of responsibility as one of Earth's inhabitants to be able to cleanse and look after her, okay? So there's rules and boundaries, yes, okay? And again, I teach all of this in Trust Your Intuition. I felt really called to talk about this morning because I woke up and I was like, that's what I'm trying to say about that, it's not in a post. So do you guys have spirits coming to you at all? I'm so curious if you sense spirits or sense any of that. And the part of it is that when, you know, like having this, you know, gift, it's a gift, right? It is a gift. And oh my goodness, my camera. I'm like still learning this, what is it called? Oh my God, it's not a tripod, but it's a handheld thing. I'm still learning it. Anyway, do you guys sense spirits, right? Because it is such a gift to be able to sense the other world. It's such a gift to be able to be clairvoyant and see and, you know, be here. And the thing is like you wouldn't be drawn to this sort of spirituality. You wouldn't be drawn to these sorts of things if you didn't have a gift, right? Like you just, yeah, which is kind of awesome. Kat, it's good to have a break. It's good to have a break, yeah? Be okay with the space, yeah? When there's space, it usually means there's an influx coming in of anything. We can apply that to anything. And yeah, it's good to have space, it's good to have break, get clear on yourself, all of that, okay? So So the thing is that when we start, we're like, yes, spiritual awakening, and we wake up and it's all amazing, and then all of a sudden, like, woof, and we start feeling. So there's the feelings thing. We're like, oh my God, have I really been feeling these? And I haven't been feeling for all this long, and so people shut it down. The other reason people shut down their spiritual gifts and feeling and sensing people in the spirit world is because they have spirits come to them. They don't know what to do. They think they're cursed. They think that, like the spirits are trying to attack them, or whatever the story is, right? And so they shut down their spiritual gifts, and then they wonder why they have all these physical symptoms going on, right? So, let alone other things. So it's really important to know what to do when you do start opening it, because that's what happens, right? We open up spiritually, we sense angels and stuff, but we also sense everything else. We sense the dark and the light, we sense everything on the spectrum of it. If we don't know what to do with it, that's when we freak out and go crazy, and people think we're crazy, and like all this sort of stuff, okay? So if you think that this has helped you, and you think that it can help somebody else, please share it. Please share it in groups, please share it on your page, please share it with the person, please share it in a private message to the person if you think it can help them. People need to know this stuff, because I want you guys to open up. I want you guys to be part and, hold this magical light that we have and be that light. How amazing does it look? It looks so amazing. I'm so glad I got out of bed this time and I came down. There's discipline working, getting in. So precious, yeah? So precious. So Trusted Intuition is open, and you can become a certified intuitive healer with Trusted Intuition. So you'll have all the skills, all the knowledge, all the tools to be able to deal with anything that comes up with your clients. If you want to step into it, doing it for work, or if you just want to increase your spiritual development, then you don't have to become a certified healer, but you've got all the tools. It's like mediumship. It's what to do when the light turns up, what to do when the dark turns up, and all in between. So it is an all-in-one course, and I created it for that very reason, because I kept getting asked all these sorts of questions, and I like hearing all these stories and people saying you're cursed and you can never be fixed, and you're broken and you never can be fixed, and you've got too much darkness and you've got too much whatever. You're basically cursed for life. Fuck, that pisses me off when people say that, and I'm like, why do people say that to people? Do you know why people say that to people? Because that person doesn't know what to do with that person. And I'm like, come on, people, and then people are like, oh, I'm cursed for life, I might not be on the planet anymore. It's like, come on, people, no. You know what I mean? Like, no. I'm so passionate about this, and I get so strongly, annoyed with people telling people that they're cursed and they can never be fixed and they've got too much darkness and they're broken. And it's like, are you serious? I'm like, come on, people, especially if you're calling yourself a spiritual healer and you're just telling that to other people. And the thing is, when you say to other people, you're cursed, you're broken, you can't be fixed, this is wrong with you, that's wrong with you, what's going on? Oh, look at those fingers, you've got 3 pointing back at you. You don't want to face your stuff, you don't want to look at the things that upset you, so you're going to point them out, and everything else is wrong with other people. They're broken, they can't be fixed. Go away, you're cursed, you're too bad energy, go away. No, people, come on. It's just that they do not know what to do, and I'm so passionate about teaching people what to do, because spirituality is only growing on the planet, and there is so much misinformation out there about curses, hexes. It's all bad, it's wrong. It's like, no, it's just fucking words, let alone how about admitting that, hey, I'm not the healer for you, here's someone more qualified, they can help you, rather than nobody can help you, you're broken, you're cursed for life. Can you see the difference? Oh, can you see the difference? Okay, I'm not qualified, that's admitting that you can't help them, that's fine, but then referring them to someone who can, because come on, people, I believe truly that we are light. We can return to the light here on earth. They say we have to go to heaven on earth, and I'm like, yeah, that's us creating it first in our mind, then in our hearts, and experiencing it in our life. If you think this live stream can help somebody, please share it. Please send it to them in a private message. Please. That's one my ex-fiance told me I was too broken, and then he kicked me out. Yeah, it's just they're not wanting to look at their old stuff, their own stuff, yeah? And the thing is, Kat, people like you and me, people, you guys that follow me, we have a very powerful presence. We have a very strong energy. We can sense all things light and dark and all in between. We all say usually own them. Usually we're not perfect. I never did. Yeah. And the thing is, when we try and help people, nah, never works, right? And this is the same thing, you know, like when people say, oh, I'm going to book like my daughter, or I'm going to book my friend in for a healing, they need it. And I'm like, well, no, unless they book in with me or they're wanting it, I'm not doing the healing. I'm like, let's look at you. Why are you telling them that they've got something wrong with them? Let's look at you, right? Because, yeah, same sort of thing. So, yeah, so I'm so passionate about this. It's so important because I'm like, that's why there's so much, I guess, darkness still thrown around on the planet, because everyone's projecting it at everyone else and not looking at their own stuff. And it's like, you know, just, yeah, it's so important. So trust intuition is where all of that is. The doors are open now. You can click on the link in the title of this live stream, or it's, if you scroll down on my page, Trust Intuition details are there. If you've got any questions about it at all, please let me know. I'm seeing you guys joining live. I'm just about to jump off, and you should watch it. It's got a beautiful sunrise in this morning. It's a beautiful light portal, which is exactly what we're speaking about when spirits turn up into our house. They just need your help, but you do not have to help everybody. Hey Pauline, okay, I will see you guys later. It hurt someone who said they would always get me and do that. Yeah, oh yeah, I know that feeling too. It cuts you to your core, to say the least. I know that feeling all too well, Kat, goodness me. Oh, write a book about it. Oh, that's right, I am. Sorry, no, I seriously am, because, yeah. To death and back, right? To hell and back, pretty much. But the thing is, all right, that were really important points. So we're talking about light portals and death and going down to the darkest depths, right? The thing that happens when this sort of thing happens, like you're sharing here, Kat, when we have, and heartbreak's like the biggest like thing that sends us and propels us into that stuff, right? What I've experienced anyway. The attachments live stream I did recently might help you too, Kat. You might want to watch that if you haven't. The thing is, what happens when we dive down to the depths of darkness and heartbreak and all those things that we think we can never come back from, the thing that happens is that we are propelled into our life purpose. Everything that we experience, especially when we're in the darkest of depths of days, is propelling us back into the light, is propelling us to our life purpose. Yeah? It propels us into our life purpose. Depression is our purpose being pushed down. Yeah? Pushing ourself down. We're pushing, depressing, pressing it down. Yeah? Our life purpose only wants to bloom. Awesome. It didn't break me. Awesome. Yeah. All right. Lots of love to you guys. I know I've said I'm going like 3 times, so I'm going now. Love you heaps. Have a beautiful morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are in the world. Namaste.